Welcome to Let's Talk About CRPS, a podcast brought to you by MTI directly from Italy. We will talk about the latest news and treatments, patients' experiences, and exclusive interviews of CRPS experts. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit our website, crps-treatment.com. Let's take off.
Well, hi everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of our podcast, Let's Talk About CRPS. And today, our special guest, it's Cheyenne, all the way from Australia. Yeah. She's one of our old patients, actually. She was here last year for her CRPS. She's definitely going to tell us a bit more about her case, how the treatment went while she was here, and of course, how she's doing right now, which I believe it's, the best part of this whole thing. So
Absolutely.
off you go. Off you go with your little, story.
Awesome. Well, as Sandra said, I'm Shay, or Shay, however you want to say it. My CRPS, I got diagnosed. I had an accident in November of 2021, which is the cause of my CRPS. I was diagnosed in March of 2022. Apparently that's a long time between the start of it to get diagnosed for treatment and everything like that. People didn't, like the doctors here didn't really know much about it, and the only kind of treatment that they would give me was medication and pain relief and just try this and try this and try this. Like at one point, I think I had, over the first month of getting diagnosed, I probably had 8 different scripts of 8 different pain reliefs. I don't think I've ever told anyone that before. I tried them all. Like each time I got them, and then I tried them for a week, nothing worked. And so I stopped taking them. And I didn't want to keep putting stuff into my body that wasn't helping my symptoms. I'd rather be alert and in my own mind and in pain than pretty much be a zombie and still be in pain. Like it's not. Yeah. So I tried going to, like, I got referred to physios. None of them would touch me. None of them touched my arm. If anything, they said, don't do anything. Just leave it. Don't move it. They put me, I was in a splint for 5 months, I think. Would have been at least that long. And as I've now found out, it did more damage than good. But it's really hard it frustrates me, I guess, like just realizing how little they actually do. And they got to the point where my arm I got muscle atrophy throughout my whole right arm. And they then started talking about, well, it's gotten to the point now we're probably going to have to amputate. If they had told me that when I hit the 12-month mark from my accident, I would have jumped at it, because I was just kind of thing. And it was all that kind of changed with how I was feeling within myself of just wanting to give up. I didn't want to do it anymore. And everything was when I found you guys on. We started looking. Well, first we started doing research in Australia of what was here for treatment. And it was the same thing, everything kind of, and like this was before the doctors started talking about amputation, but everything that we were reading ended up ending in amputation anyway. Here in Australia, there wasn't really much on it, really. And then I found you guys, and that kind of gave that first phone call, there was a shift, and it gave me that little bit of hope that, well, maybe this is something that this might work. And so I started what's the word called? Then my mind isn't working great at the moment. Like we started doing research on the treatments over there and reading testimonies and watching the videos and everything like that, and maybe even more and more and more hopeful. And then when I brought it up with my pain specialist, and it was shut down pretty much straight away. No, that doesn't work. No, this is the only way to do it. And then I got to, by the time it hit halfway through 2023, it would have been June, July, I had a physio come out to our home, and he was the second physio at that point, and to say that I'm probably going to have to amputate my arm. I just looked at him and I looked at my husband and I went, nope, not now, not happening. Like, we've found something. And so when we come over to you guys, I pretty much convinced myself in my head mentally that this is the only treatment I'm ever going to need, and this is just going to work because it has to. And I get an awesome holiday out of it if it didn't have the effect that I was hoping. Luckily for me, it did. So, but yeah, that's the very short version of everything. Yeah, just very it's very frustrating here.
Yeah, I remember we actually spoke 2 different times. Like, the first time it was, I think, end of 2022, beginning of 2023, and then we kind of lost touch for a bit, and then we got to chat again later when you actually decided to come here. I remember that you were so hyped for it. Come immediately.
Yeah, no, it
I'm
was.
So glad we made it work. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I swear it was the best decision it was the best decision I ever made, and actually went through with, because I don't know where I'd be if I didn't. So, I mean, I got to the point, I actually said it to Brian the other week. I got to the point where if we didn't go, I was going to the doctors and I was getting a script for some very strong opioids, and that was going to be it. I was taking them. They all went to work, and he went to school. He went to school, and the kids went to work. I was at that point. But we decided to come to you instead, so that was a good thing. So,
I mean, for sure it is.
Yeah, it's people don't really talk about that side of it, like the feelings that you have and all that kind of stuff. Especially here in Australia, nobody talks about it. It's almost like, let's just put a Band-Aid on it and push it to the back. Hopefully we kind of forget about it or whatever. That's one thing that I noticed.
That's what we only do.
It's one thing I noticed when we did get there was it was okay to feel the way that I felt. I didn't feel like I had to hide how I was feeling. And I didn't have to try and put on a face like, no, I'm actually okay, but like, I'm okay, but I'm really not, if that makes any sense. And
of course.
You could feel the difference almost immediately from that very first time I Peter met us at the airport. I remember I jumped off the plane and my arm was just like going like this, and he goes, does that happen often? And I went, yeah, it does. And there was just it was genuine care and I want to get this better kind of thing. That was the vibe that you got. And it's definitely not the vibe here. If anything, it's the complete opposite. So that kind of made you feel confident just on that first face-to-face meeting there. So
you have to be empathetic, even more when there's people who are dealing with this kind of pain every single day. You actually have to understand them. You have to support them. Sometimes
Yeah, 100%.
even just a word of support, it's enough. You don't have to go all the way out of but I think it's just important to have that support from people, which helps a lot when people come here. A lot of them went through something bad before with doctors, pain specialists, whatever they got to see in the past years. But I think that even having that little support at the beginning pushes you a bit more towards a positive.
It does,
mindset.
and I think it's definitely underrated how much, and it's overlooked how much just that little bit of positivity actually makes a difference. I remember I had to go in for a occupational therapist. It was in January this year, actually, of just like a what's the word called, like an assessment kind of thing, for everything that we've got going on due to this. And I said to him, he goes, "What?" He asked me. He was the first one here in Australia to ask me point blank of what are you fed up with, kind of thing. And I said, hearing the negative comments, I got sick of hearing the negative comments of, "I'm sorry, you're going to have to live with this and you'll probably lose your arm." Constantly. Like, by the time it got to the 18 months, 2 year mark, that's all every single doctor I spoke with was saying. "Oh, we're like, there's nothing we can do. It's permanent. It's always going to be there, and you'll probably lose your arm because of the muscle wastage." And I remember saying to him, I said, I didn't need to hear that. That's something I didn't need. I needed to hear someone say, "That's okay. Well, let's see what else we can do. Let's see what else we can find." And somebody who would actually support my decision to do what I wanted to do. I think that was the most disappointing part about what I found here, was there was no support. And he was the first doctor that turned around and said, "Well, when it comes down to it, if you find something somewhere else, whether it's here in Australia or not, if it's going to give you hope, you need to grab it with both hands and run with it." And that was just like, I actually said to him, and he wasn't even working, like he wasn't even there to help me. He was there to help the other side, so to speak. But I just looked at him and I said, that's exactly how people need to be when they're dealing with patients. They need to, I mean, especially here, because they don't have what, like the treatment that you guys do here, they need to really, they've got to be more open-minded.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And they can't be, I'm going to say the word, I'll probably get criticized for it, but they can't be so scared. They have to be open-minded and go, right, well, if this is something that you want to try, well, let's support you in doing that, because that is going to make it a lot easier for people to make the decision to come to you guys as well. If I had to listen to every single, like all the doctors that I was seeing here in Australia, there's no way in the world I would have jumped on that plane. But I also knew that if I didn't, it wasn't going to end well. So I did. And yeah, I think my kids would have killed me again if I didn't. So, but so it would have been like, yeah. No. But yeah, no, it's I advocate for you guys so much here now. It's just like, you just need to go. Don't listen to, I shouldn't say that. It's just like, don't like, just push it aside because they said, like your doctor said, no, just look at it and look at me. And I get so like excited and I get so passionate about it because of how much it gave me my life back. Which I never thought was possible. I never in a million years thought that I would ever get my life back the way that I've got it now. I could cook dinner. I'm not peeling. I can peel veggies, but that's what the kids are for. So, but I can cook and I can mash, and I can mash up potato, and I can cook pasta, and I can cook pizza, and I can cook roasts, and I can cook all of that now, and I couldn't do that before. So,
I'm so happy to hear that.
it's just I can pick up a knife and not worry, and I can pick up a pot now, and I moved the needle. So there's a squeaky thing. Well, here, I don't know, I can't remember if you guys use it over there, but it's this little device that you hold and you squeeze, and it moves how much you can lift, pretty much. Okay. And I've always hit 33 or 34 kilo on this arm, like my good arm. But for the last 3 years, I have not moved the needle even like 1 millimeter with my right arm. Mm-hmm. It hasn't happened. It was just nothing. And I moved it to 1.9. I was just like, I was so excited. And I'm just like, did you see that? Did you see that? Like that? Oh my God, that moved. It was, I think I called Brian up and I was crying. And he's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I moved the needle. I haven't done that in so long. I moved the needle. And I just, all of these things I never thought I was ever going to be able to do again, ever. And I know it would sound so silly to other people. It's like, so what, you did this, or so what, you did that kind of thing. Like, it's not a big deal, but to me, it's huge, and I celebrate every single tiny little,
as you should,
step that every time I can do something better than I could do before, or when I can do something I haven't been able to do, I celebrate that like no tomorrow. Probably a month after we got back, it started raining. I got a little bit of pain, so I kind of stepped back in. I didn't go back out. Then a couple of weeks later, it started raining. This was 6 weeks now after treatment when we got home. And I went in the rain and it didn't burn. And I took off, but everything, I was in my bra and I was just in shorts and I was dancing in the rain. I danced in that rain for like 20 minutes. And those little things, I started crying, and Brian was looking at me and he was so happy. And the kids were just like, oh my gosh, like she's not screaming.
Yeah.
I was just so, all those little things, like this treatment gave me that back. I never thought I'd be able to do that. So that's exciting too. But yeah, that's it.
I'm so happy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
With every new update that you sent to us, it was just amazing. Because I remember, all the steps that you sent us. You always sent
every single time something changes or I can do something, I'm straight on my phone. Look what I can do. Oh my God. I want to tell everybody, like, just go there. Just do it. And just yes, kind of thing. Because from the doctors here that turned around and said, you'll never get better and we're going to have to amputate, to now me looking at them and going, oh, okay. And okay, yeah, it must have just fixed itself on its own or something like that. But I'm just like, no, it's because I went there and I had the treatment. That's what it is.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you actually saw any of the doctors.
I have. There was one doctor that I went back to a couple of times. He wanted to know how it went because he was one of the only, I saw him a week before we come. I was asked to see him by my legal team and that because of everything going on with the injury from the accident. And he goes, just let me know how you go. I want to see how it is by the time we get back. He went into retirement a week after we left. So I'm like, oh, damn, kind of thing. But I went back and I've spoken to him a couple of times, and I saw his physio who was waiting for me when I got back, and I showed her, and I've been in contact with her after that and everything like that. And she's she's told him in the messages I've got back from me is just like, we need to bring, like, we need this. Like, he goes, from where you were before you left to how you are now is just, and this was only like what, 2.5 months after my treatment by this point. So this was almost just over 6 months ago. And because the difference even then, I still couldn't do a lot with my hand. Not so like with my arm, I could do heaps, but with my hand, there was still a lot I couldn't do because it was still going through the healing stage and everything. But even then, he's just gone, we need something like this here. Like, this is huge. And when I told you, I said, I've been saying it so much, like it has to work. So many people that have made testimonies and everything like that, and seeing before and after videos of everything, all of those people just can't be a coincidence.
Yeah.
All of those people can't be lying, as they say here, because what, am I lying?
Yeah, you're not a paid actor.
I know I must be the best actor of all time to be able to sit there and do that for 3 years, even without people looking, for me to, and then come like this, like.
But, you're actually one of the most noticeable cases of people actually getting better, because your hand was, in a pretty bad shape before coming here.
Was.
It was, it was obvious to see. So yeah, people just can't go against that. There's no way.
My mum and my auntie, they both were one of those people that turned around and said, "No, it can't be that bad," kind of thing. And they tried actually putting their hand the way that mine was.
Yeah. And
they couldn't do it. And I'm just like, you can't put your hand, like my thumb was almost touching here.
Yeah, I remember.
It was, I mean, that hurts. I can't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, like it was, like, yeah, it was down. I can't even do it now.
Which is good.
It's good. It's great. But like my mum and my auntie, they both turned around and they said we didn't think it was that bad, because it was just like, but to see you holding it in that position for so long, I said, if I didn't have to have my hand like this, I would not have my hand like this. Like I don't.
Why would you fake that?
And it was just like, wow. But then as they watched it and it got worse and worse and worse, they're just like, oh my gosh. Like they said it was so hard to watch it, just like they watched it curl and then they watched it go and get stuck. And then they noticed the difference in my muscle. And it's just like, you can't fake that. I said, I wish I was friggin' faking it. Because I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't have to be in pain 24/7.
Yeah, of course.
Like I wouldn't, nobody wants to feel that. I still, it's weird because it's almost like a distant memory, that pain that I was in for so long. And when I sit back and I'll read over things and read over statements and that I've had to make and everything like that. And it's just like, that's how I kind of, it almost seems like it's, how could somebody stay in that much pain? Because I don't, it almost feels like a bad dream now, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
And it's like as if when you go into labor and you have a child, you remember that pain so much because it's just like, wow. But then after it's done and after a few months, you kind of forget what it's like, but you have like the memory of it. That's what this has been like. It can stay a memory. It can stay a memory.
Yeah, definitely.
long until forever. But it's just, I still look at it, and I think for the first 6 months I was constantly just going, like, holding my hands like this. And Brian would say to me, he goes, "What are you doing?" And I went, "I haven't been able to do it for 3 years. Leave me alone."
Like, let me stay like this.
It's so just, I can, and I'd sit there like on a chair. I'd be walking around and I'll just put my hands together. And just feeling it, and just it's just, there's no words. You can't explain until you've been through it.
Yeah, of course.
I hope nobody ever has to go through that, but ever in the future. But you can't explain that feeling until someone's been
through that,
experienced that, and then gone through the treatment with you guys to come out the other end and feel that, like the pain's gone, the movement's back. It's not like my muscles are redeveloping, and like my arm, like, look at that.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Like, I've got, like, none of that was here before. Like, it was so, like, you can see the muscle building up in there again. And
well, it's been what, 9 months now?
Yeah, 10 months now.
Okay. Yep, and you're still getting better. Like, it's still,
and it's still getting better. Yeah, like I'm not 100% with my fingers. There's still a little bit of work to go with my fingers on like, I want to be able to go like this, and at the moment I'm here.
Oh, that's
great.
I
want to be able to get back to
you're
where
almost there.
I can't. I mean, it still looks a bit funky, but I mean, it's taken me to get. But I want to be able to go like this. So I still got a little bit of work to go.
No, of course, but I think it's completely normal. It's been like,
it's the way I see it now is, well, I've come this far and it's gotten better each time. So I'm on the home stretch now. And I'm going to get to 100% before I know it. It's just like,
I know you will. I have faith in you. I know you will. You're very strong-willed.
Freaking determined. I am going to beat every single odd that any doctor here ever gave me, which I already have, but I always got told at the beginning, we could probably get to like 70%. It was before it started getting all like curled over and that. No, I'm at 98% right now, and I've got 2 more percent to go. So hurry up, let's go. And I shook somebody. I remember the first time I shook somebody's hand. That was a very strange feeling, because everyone shakes you. Here in Australia, you greet somebody, it's g'day kind of thing. You put your hand out. And I haven't been able to do that. It's just been like, I'll go and I'll shake my hand like that.
Yeah.
But they grab your hand weird when you're like, and it's like, dude, give me a proper shake kind of thing. Like, really just give me a proper shake. And I can do that now. That's
great.
It's a big thing for us, because I've always that kind of, I know it sounds silly, but that when I lost that ability, it almost made me feel like I lost a part of who I am as an Aussie, I guess, because the first thing, like I said before, the first thing you do when you meet somebody, even like guy, chick, doesn't really matter, you put your hand out and you shake the hand.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like I got a little bit of me back when I was able to do that again, because it was just like, yep, here you go kind of thing. And
that's lovely.
A lot of people from around the world say it's really, really, really weird. But that's how we just like, g'day, mate, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's what we do. And it's part of how we introduce ourselves kind of thing.
Of course.
And having that ability back, like little things like that, it doesn't seem like a lot or a big deal to a lot of people, but
But every step matters.
to
Every small
me,
step, it's important.
100%, it's huge. Like I cried when I shook the OT's hand when I was leaving. And he just looked at me. He got a bit of a tear in his eye as well. And he goes, "That's awesome. That's so awesome." And I'm just like, yes. And when I got my stuff off my car, all of the mobility stuff that I had to have on my car because of my arm, all of that come off. And that day I called up my mum. She was at work. She was, "I'm at work." I said, "I don't care." And I'm going, "I just got it all off and I got my I've got no V on my license." I'm going, I got to like just, it sounds so silly now that you think about it, but it was such a huge momentous thing for me for that to happen. And every single little thing we've celebrated. So you have to celebrate. You have to celebrate every single little step forward.
Of course.
You have to, because I think that's a big part of keeping yourself focused on getting better,
motivated as well.
And keeping it going and everything like that, because and having my family and that who's pushed me as well to keep pushing and keep going, even when it felt like, oh well, maybe this is as best it's going to get. No, get up, go on. Let's go, kind of thing. And that was also a huge like part of when we got home, and having that to help me keep moving forward and not giving up and being determined. I said to myself, I want to be at 100% by the end of this. And having my family support and celebrating every single little step and being able to call or message you guys whenever something little happens it's been such a big part of keeping me going forward. So
I'm very glad.
You don't get that here. Like you really don't. You don't get any of that here. And
we're always here for you.
You always have to have that going to never stop doing that. Ever stop doing that. Like I'm even at the point where give me 3 more months. Like I've said to myself, when I hit 12 months, I want to be able to jump on the back of a horse and go for a ride. I can't wait till I can do that again. I need to have both arms very strong to be able to do that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm working on now. So I'm going to be sending you a photo in 3 months of me on the back of a horse.
Yes, please.
And it's going to be awesome because I'm going to work my butt off to make sure I can. And it's just strength, building that up. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. But I couldn't have done it without you guys. Like at all.
Thank you so
that
much.
Wouldn't have even been possible. So, and I'm glad I'm stubborn and don't listen to the people I should really listen to, because I wouldn't have come if I did.
No, exactly.
Like I wouldn't, like Brian goes to me, he goes, "I'm very glad you're stubborn like that." I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "I don't like getting told, no, you can't do this." Because I'll just, no, don't. It's hard to just don't, just go. Just go. I wish I could just go to every single person who ever thought of the idea to come to you guys, and I wish I could just jump on a plane and go, right, no, let's go. I will take you step by step. I will be with you all the way to the airport to make sure you get on the damn plane and go over. I don't care where you are. I feel like I wish I could do that, and just to, I know it doesn't work. I mean, I know some people it may not work for, and some people it will, but for me, everybody told me that nothing will.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys turned around and said, "Yeah, we've got this." Whatever.
Yeah,
thing.
We do, yeah.
And so confidently and so matter-of-factly, there was no doubt. I wasn't expecting myself to react like this, because Peter's been sending me, whenever he posts something about me or anything like that, he'll send me a link so I can go in and I love going in and check it out. Just seeing the difference in my demeanor and everything is just, it's awesome. and it's on TikTok, like whenever it's on TikTok and that, and you keep scrolling through, and there was one that popped up, and all these different ones were popping up of how people have gone to Italy, or they've tried this, or people asking questions like, where's a good place to go for treatment and everything. And I'll always put on, you need to go to this place, or at least talk to them, kind of thing. There was one that popped up, and it was an Australian one. I can say bad stuff about this because I am Australian. But no, I was an Australian one, and it was this physio, and it got me really angry. I got really angry, and I got really frustrated because one of the very first things that Luigi asked me when I went into that physio session was, what have you done? And I said, nothing. I got told not to move it. I got told not to touch it. I swear he said something really not good in Italian, because the look on his face was just like
here's a little pissed, probably.
But it's just like, it didn't sound bad, but it was just like, oh, his face is like, is he cursing them? I know, I
probably would.
But this Australian physio she told this girl who had it in her arm, keep her arm straight, don't move it, while she sat there and pretty much put tape around her arm and kept it in one position. And I'm just looking at my phone going, what are you doing? You're not meant to do that. You're meant to keep it moving.
Oh my God.
Yelling at my phone going, what is wrong with you? Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you can't do that. Walked into my daughter and she's gone, who got you upset? And I went, this lady did. Look what she's doing. So they need to move it. They need to touch it. They need to get it. Like, they can't just do anything, because it's just, I'm going. And I wasn't expecting me to react like that.
But now you know what the right thing is to do. So that's why you were all, Yeah,
it got me so, because because I jumped onto this girl's page and it shows she hadn't been diagnosed for very long. But it got me, I remember when they told me to do that, but they put me in an actual splint kind of thing, where like when my arm started bending, it bent the steel in it. There was that much like force of my arm just wanting to curl over, it would bend the steel. In like the ones that sit here. And then I remember what Luigi's reaction when he asked me what they'd done here, and I said nothing. They told me not to touch it or move it. And I was just like, I understand why it seemed like he got so frustrated, because I'm just like, no, like, get away from her kind of thing. I just want to just look at people and go, you need to go back to school. You need to realize that, like, go back to the fundamentals on that very first unit that you learn when you do any health course. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a physio, it could be an AIN, it could be a nurse, it could be a orderly. At like the people that push the people around and move them in the hospitals. It doesn't matter what course you do in health. The first thing they teach you is, if you don't use it, you lose it. And here, all of these professionals here are saying, well, don't move it. Like,
I know, it's very frustrating. Yeah,
it is. But I was just like, it kind of made me feel it was a bit confusing as well, because I hadn't had that much passion about something to want to do something about or help anybody since just before my accident. And so it kind of shocked me a bit that I reacted, and I got so angry at that. But it was also like, oh yes, fine. Like I'm getting that passion for things back. And again, like, I wouldn't have known any of that if I didn't come and see you guys.
Yeah.
So just keep moving it and don't oh my gosh.
I'm so glad.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I was
So
just like,
glad.
oh my gosh. It's just, don't be afraid. I know it's so much easier said than done.
Yeah, of course. But
And that's the biggest thing that holds people back is fear, or
yeah.
if it, like, people often say, and I've had a couple of people reach out to me about where I've gone to get myself, and I've told them straight up. And one thing that kind of, with like their first reaction is, oh, okay, kind of thing, when they ask how much it cost me. And I just look at them and I've gone, well, how much is there a price that you can put on taking that away?
It's not the price in health.
They've gone, not really. I said, I'd pay 10 times that. If I'd pay so much more than what I did if it meant knowing what I know now. You know what I mean? Like this, you can't. And that's the biggest thing that I've kind of found here in Australia when people have asked me where, and I tell them the first thing they ask you is how much did it cost? And I tell them, and it's just like, oh, and I was like, well, you can't put a price on being out of pain, being able to walk, being able to shower on your own, being able to pick up things with both your hands, being able to hug your kids, being able to drive your car without having a flare, being able to jump in a shower. There's no, in my mind, there's nothing that's not worth that. Because I love you too. Do you want to come here for a second and do you want to tell them how you feel about my arm being better?
I've kind of forgotten that she had CRPS.
Hey?
I've kind of forgotten that she had CRPS.
She cried when I first went shopping with her. Because I grabbed the trolley and I started pushing the trolley. And she's just looking at me and she's just going, and she just started crying. And I'm just like, what have I done wrong? What's wrong? She goes, you're using your arm. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, I am too. It's just, yeah.
I'm so happy for you, really.
It's awesome.
This is amazing.
I'm just, one of the biggest things I'm glad that I listened to my gut about was not filling my body with so much toxins of like the medications that they want to shove down your throat. I'm such an Aussie now, aren't I? Yeah, it sounds so aggressive, but it's not meaning aggressive, but just the amount of, if it doesn't work, don't do it. It's not worth it. It makes you feel like crap. And you kind of lose your quality of life even more than you already have. If it doesn't work, don't touch it, pretty much. It was my biggest thing that I'm glad that I stuck to with my gut when it comes to this and everything, and being looked at or criticized because I didn't want to take anything. And I'm just like, well, why would I want to sit there and keep using something and spending money on something if it's not doing what it's designed to do?
Of course. And
like, I think there was a couple of people at the hospital and that when I was over there that said that was probably a really good thing, because I didn't have all that stuff I was fighting against as well. And I'm just like, yep, no, probably the best decision I ever made was not sit there and just keep doing all that, because I think that's had a big impact on how well I've been able to recover as well, because the only thing that's in my system fighting this and repairing this and and healing this is the Neridronate. There's nothing else in there. It's not trying to get rid of anything else out of my body or fighting against anything else in my body. It's just the Neridronate doing what it does, and the Clotronate, and I figured all the other ones that they put in as well. I know ones for your mind to help you, and I think that was one thing, because I remember asking Marcia,
the nurse.
I can never say her name right. I feel so bad. I remember asking Marcia, what's that one doing? She goes, it's to help you keep a clear head. And I'm just like, that is such a good idea. It really is. And it's something that people don't really think of, is when you're in that much pain, your mind's not clear. Oh, and it does. It makes you question things, and that makes you not have faith in things, and that makes you depressed.
Of course.
And adding that in when I had my treatment, I don't know if everybody has it, or if it's like, because I know it's individually like done and everything like that, depending on your circumstances. But I know I believe that was one thing that helped me keep so positive through everything as well, because I was able to have a more clear mind with it, if that makes any sense.
It does.
So that's a huge thing as well. And that just really, all those little things that you don't think of, that kind of gets added into your package when you tailor a package and everything like that. Every single bit of it is, no matter how small or insignificant you may think it is, it's in there for a reason. And if it's in there, it's because it's something that has been recognized that you'll need while you're there. So just use it. My husband says, you only live once, so why not just try your best at everything and see if it works. If you've tried everything else, what else do you have to lose?
Exactly.
And at least they're not going to take your arm if you're not in Australia. So usually, unless you ask for it, but don't do that. Don't do that at all. Do this first. It's cheaper. Very much so. But yeah, it's just like,
Well, thank you so much for your words and for everything, like for sharing everything with us. And always, the new updates, the new videos, we love to see them. We always, play them together at the office. So that's, that's.
I love it. I said to Peter, I said, I'll be over there. When I come over there again, I'm going to be coming over as a tourist. And before we left, he goes, I want to see you back here. He goes, for wine and cheese. And I said to him, I said, I'm coming back and I'm having wine and cheese with all of you. And it's going to be as a tourist, not as a patient. It's going to be awesome. I'm so looking forward to be able to just, it's just to give a quick idea and update. It's now 17 degrees here, and I'm still, and the door's open too. So it's awesome. But so I talk so much when I get excited.
Don't worry. I'm just closing here. Don't worry. Thank you so much again for joining me.
That's okay.
Everyone will be watching, listening to this new episode of the podcast. So you can look forward to it as well. You can definitely watch it too.
Absolutely. And I'll keep sending updates of how everything is going, because there's still so many little milestones I want to be able to hit, and big milestones as well. So when that happens, it's going to be yes. And I'll be sending videos and photos of every single one of them, because I wouldn't have been here without you guys. So
thank you so much. You say bye to everyone there, okay?
I will. You have a good day.
You too. You have
enjoy the rest of your day.
I'll talk to you soon. Okay? Bye-bye.